So, good morning, students. Once again, a very good morning. So, on this day, that is 5th September, students, you know it's a Teachers' Day. So, Teachers' Day is just celebrated on behalf of birthdays of Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan, as you already know, right? So, on this occasion, so it's a very sad demise for Guru family, as we have lost our very precious, what we call it as precious, almighty Guru, late Sri Professor A.Y. Naik sir. So it's a very great loss for all the parents and students of not only Gulbarga, this Hyderabad, Karnataka, and even the whole society. As you already know, Naik sir is greatly known for his kind nature, selfless service to society. Okay, so we are missing him today very much, very much. So once again, controlling my emotions, okay, I wholeheartedly offer my prayings in the feet of our late Sri Professor A.Y. Naik sir, rightly called Oasis of Chemistry. Controlling my emotions, just once again, happy Teachers' Day to him. And I pray my Almighty Guru to give us strength, okay, and confidence, and serve you better what the way the sir has already been serving the society. And also will promise parents and students of Gulbarga, not only Gulbarga, all society, please we are working on the same guidelines as given by our Professor A.Y. Naik sir, and will promise the same will be continued. Right? So once again, happy Teachers' Day to my great soul, Professor A.Y. Naik sir, late Sri Professor A.Y. Naik sir. Right, now, without wasting the time, I will continue my lecture 11. In the previous class, see, just we have completed numericals, right? So numericals based on calculation of wave number, wavelength, wave frequency of spectral lines using Rydberg equation, right? And also problems based on Heisenberg uncertainty principle, that is delta x into delta p greater than or equal to h by 4 pi m or h by 4 pi, right? Now still more problems today I will continue. In continuation of that same problems, just we will have still more problems. Okay. Next numerical, the question is, a golf ball has a mass of 40 grams and a speed of 45 meters per second. 45 meters per second. If the speed can be measured with accuracy of 2%, calculate the uncertainty in position. Uncertainty in position. See, this is once again a problem based on what we call it as, that is Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Already this type we have solved, right? Before that you have formula delta x is equal to directly h by 4 pi m into delta v, because now they are asking you delta x, that is error in determination of position, uncertainty in position. Okay, now we have been given delta v, see 45 meters per second but measured up to 2%. So converting this 45 into 2 by 100, right? So converting this, what will you get? 0.9 meters per second. See 2%, that's 2 by 100. Okay, right. Once when you know this, then mass as usual 9.1 into 10 raised to minus 31 kilograms. Sorry, it has been given 40 grams. 40 grams will be that. Right, 40 grams. 40 grams is given, but grams should be converted into kg because mass should be in kg only. Kg only, not minus these also, right? It is 40 grams they have given you. Converting this into kg, 40 into 10 raised to minus 3 kg. Okay, now it's correct. Okay, then delta X you have to find it as usual. Now Planck's constant as usual 6.627 into 10 raised to minus 34. Okay, minus 34 divided by 4 into 3.14 into mass, 40 into 10 raised to minus 3, right? And velocity once again 0.9. Upon solving all this, that is 6.627 whole divided by 4 into 3.14 into 40 into 0.9, 10 raised to minus 34, okay, and plus 3, that you will get 0.01465 into 10 raised to minus 31, and final on solving 1.465 into 10 raised to minus 33, that is meters, because it has been given meters per second. So that about the error in determination or uncertainty in the position with speed of 45 meters per second and accuracy up to 2%. Right, this is the error in determination, or what you can tell, that is uncertainty in the position. It may be meter or centimeters. Okay, right. Okay, students. So this is the next one more problem with regarding to what? Heisenberg uncertainty principle. I'll repeat. See, the question is what? A golf ball has a mass of 40 grams and a speed of 45 meters per second. If that speed is measured accuracy up to 2%, then calculate the uncertainty in the position. Okay, uncertainty in the position. That's why, see, delta x into delta p, h by 4 pi, but delta p is m into delta v. So directly we use this formula, h by 4 pi m into delta v. Okay, right. Delta v is given 45, 2% accuracy will be 0.9 upon solving this, right? Okay, then 40 grams, this mass should be in kg, therefore multiplied by, divided by 1000 or multiplied by 10 raised to minus 3 kg, converting grams into kg. Right, once when we get none, our aim is to, pi is radian constant, it is 3.142, and m is given, delta we know, substituted, calculate, take all the one terms one side, make 10 to the power one side, and accordingly get the answer. Right. So this is about what? Error in determination of position or uncertainty in determination of position, that is delta x. This is another another problem regarding what? Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Okay, right. Now without wasting the time, let us see, we'll move on to still one more problem on the same Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Another variety. Okay. I think now you have completed this, so we'll wind it off. Okay. Next numerical is calculate the uncertainty in velocity. See, until now only position you have done. Now this time they are asking you velocity of a cricket ball. Okay, of a cricket ball of mass 150 gram if the uncertainty in the position, uncertainty in position is of the order how much? 1 angstrom. Given Planck's constant, h is equal to 6.634 into 10 raised to minus 34 joules into second. So this much they have given. Here this time what to calculate, students? Uncertainty in velocity. So formula you know. What is formula? First what you will write, delta x into delta p h by 4 pi. Okay. But delta p is delta x into m into delta v h by 4 pi. Okay. Our aim is to calculate what now? Delta v, change in velocity, therefore h by 4 pi m into delta x. Shifting all this side. As usual, what is given? Planck's constant. H is how much? 6.634 into 10 raised to minus 34. Okay, right. Now delta p, here in determination of x is given position, that is how much is the order? 1 angstrom. 1 angstrom means 1 into 10 to the power minus 10 meters. Right? Okay. Then mass is given how much? 150 gram. Once again 150 gram should be converted into further. 150 gram should be converted into what? I told you kg. 150 into 10 raised to minus 3 kg. Right. And right. Okay. So what we have got here. Now substituting all this. 150 grams, right, already over. Now 6.634 into 10 raised to minus 34 divided by 4 into 3.142 or 3.14 mass 150 into 10 raised to minus 3 and delta x of the order 10 to the power minus 10 because 1 angstrom. Making all term one side, 6.634 divided by 4 into 3.14 into 150. Okay. Right. Now all like term one side, minus 34 if you take upside, plus 3 plus 10. So finally on solving this, what we will get, the simplified form we will get is 0.5281 into 10 raised to minus 21 because this is 1334. So 5.281 into 10 raised to minus 22 meters or centimeter. This is a error in determination of, that is velocity, that is meters, right? Okay. This is the velocity, change in the velocity, uncertainty in the velocity of a cricket ball with how much mass? 150 grams and order of the position 1 angstroms. 1 angstroms, right? See, that means in the previous class we have solved two problems, and here one, all were on calculating position only. If they ask you velocity, this is one point, right? So here also all the varieties have been covered. And remember, these problems, especially on Heisenberg, students, they are important for CET and NEET purpose. That's why I solved 3 to 4 on the varieties I have covered here. Be very careful, especially velocity. Okay, but in terms of percentage, if they are given, please try to make them convert into percentage. And especially mass should be in kilograms. Remember, if the milligram and gram should be compulsory converted into kg, kilograms. Right. So that's about the problem based on Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Now let us we will move on to still more, that is problems. Sorry students. Still more problems, that is on the same one. Question, next question. Okay, so next question is, an electron has a speed of 40 meters per second, accuracy up to 99.99%. What is uncertainty in its position? In its position, given mass of electron 9.1 into 10 raised to minus 31 kg, and Planck's constant 6.634 into 10 raised to minus 34 joules into second. See, here also the same variety, but this time they are given up to, see, this time once again you have to calculate delta x. Now if you come for the solution, right students, see, delta x into delta p h by 4 pi. What are given? Mass of electron 9.1 into 10 raised to minus 31 kg, right? Velocity. Okay, velocity means once again you have to make it as delta x m into delta v h by 4 pi. Therefore, delta x you have to find here, h by 4 pi m into delta v. So delta v is how much? That is 40. This is important here. Making this into 99% accuracy. 99% accuracy in the sense 99.99. Okay. Sorry, just we'll do this. 100 minus 99.99 whole divided by 100 into 40. And solving this 0.01 by 100, that means remaining into 40, you'll get this 4 into 10 raised to minus 3 meters. This is only important. See, in almost 99.99%, remaining is 0.01. That means accuracy they asked it up to 0.01 indirectly, right? Therefore, it will gets converted to 4 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter. And as usual, delta x you have to find here 6.634 into 10 raised to minus 34 by 4 into 3.14 into mass 9.1 into 10 raised to minus 31 and velocity 4 into 10 raised to minus 3, right? So 6.634 whole divided by 4 into 3.14 into 9.1 into 4, making all terms one side, minus 34 plus 31 plus 3, right? So this will almost all gets 0, 10 to the power 0, but the value what we'll get is 0.1320, 1320 into 10 to the power 0, or 0.132 into 1. Anything raised to 0 is 1. Therefore, 0.1320 meters or centimeters. This is the error in determination of position or uncertainty in the position with accurate up to 99.99%. Okay. See, this is important for NEET, right? Okay. Like this you can expect, especially on Heisenberg uncertainty principle in accuracy type of problems only, either for Karnataka CET or for NEET purpose. Right. So this is about a problem based on Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Right, students? That means now we have solved problems on energy of photon, de Broglie wavelength, that is equal to h nu, hc by lambda, even de Broglie wavelength, lambda is equal to h by m into c, and calculating wave number nu bar is equal to 1 over lambda r into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square, right? Okay, then further also we have tried to calculate problems on same, not only wave number, wavelength and wave frequency of the spectral series using Rydberg equation. Then problems yesterday just got started and based on this Heisenberg uncertainty principle, and calculating in general, when wavelength is given, how to calculate frequency, when frequency is given, how to calculate the wave number. All the varieties we have covered. Okay. Now just one more, two varieties, one or two varieties, especially for CET and NEET they will ask you. Let us see, we will focus on those questions also. Lastly, two more problems. Let us see, what are those? See, after this particular question, now we shall go for 1 marks in theory also. This is important, and you can expect sometimes in Karnataka CET and NEET also. Let us see, what is that? See, question is, what is the maximum number of emission lines? Okay, maximum number of emission lines when the excited electron of a hydrogen atom in n is equal to 6 drops to the ground state. So if you ask you like these questions, especially it is important for purely NEET as well as CET. Even for theory also 1 marks question. Even for theory also 1 marks. If such questions are asked, you have to. I told you in what that is hydrogen spectrum of an atom. How to find the number of lines okay, emitted when they jump from higher orbit to lower orbit. This can be done very easily. That is, number of lines is equal to n2 minus n1. Once again, n2 minus n1 plus 1. Okay, whole divided by 2. This formula you have to remember. When they jump from higher orbit to lower orbit, number of the spectral lines, right, observed in the hydrogen spectrum of atom only, not others. Please remember. Now what they given you? Energy level number 6. This is the higher energy level. That means N2, and ground state, that is 1. Ground state means definitely 1 only. 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. So accordingly, substitute here. Okay, 6 minus 1, 6 minus 1 plus 1 divided by 2, 5. Okay, this will be 6 minus 1 at 5 into, you get here minus 1 plus 1, it cancels, 5 into 6 divided by 2, that is 30 by 2 will be 15. That means in this level, when electron jump from higher orbit to lower orbit, that is from energy level number 6 to energy level number 1, how many lines are observed? 15 lines. 15 lines are observed in the hydrogen spectrum of atom. Like this, you can easily, if you know this formula, you can calculate the number of lines observed, right? So what are those transitions especially? See, n is equal to 6. See, first see, transition 6 to 1. 6 to, that is first 5, okay, then 6 to 4, 6 to 3, 6 to 2, 6 to 1. These are the transitions, right? Then 5 to 4, because higher to lower, 5 to 3, 5 to 2, 5 to 1, right? Then 4 to 3, 4 to 2, then finally 4 to 1, then 3 to 2, 3 to 1, and lastly 2 to 1. Oh, like these are the transitions. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Then 6, 7, 8, 9, right? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and this is 51. These are the 15 transitions. What you can observe when electron jump from 6th energy level to ground state, first energy level. These are the transitions of hydrogen spectrum. Okay, right. So here 5, here 4, here 3, here 2, and here 1. That's only 9 plus 3, 12, 14, and 14 plus 1, that will be total 50. Like this you can solve by this method, or else if you don't know the formula, you can use this transitions. Higher to lower, that's it. Okay, right. So that's about a problem, especially for 1 marks. Very important for, it's important for 1 marks for theory also, and even for NEET purpose also. This formula I have to remember. Okay, right. Now let us move on to still simple, some more problems, especially with respect to, in the initially I have to discuss actually, but now I am just discussing, so sorry for that. So just see that you already know in the high school, but still once again we will have a revision of that. Okay. So that's about how to calculate, how to determine, how to predict the number of lines emitted or observed in the hydrogen spectrum when any electron jump from higher orbit to lower orbit. This is applicable for all. Please remember, this is general formula where N2 is higher energy level, N1 is lower energy level. Okay. Right. Okay. Now without wasting the time, lastly 2 more problems. Okay. Moving on to lastly, how many protons, how many electrons? How many protons, electrons, how many protons, electrons and neutrons are there? And neutrons are there in the following nuclei. In the following nuclei. In the following nuclei. This is the question. The first nuclei is oxygen 817, second magnesium Mg 1225, and third bromine 3580. So these are the nuclei they have given. Just have to predict what number of protons, number of electrons and number of neutrons. Neutrons in this particular nucleus. Okay, see first one we will solve. You already know oxygen 817. See this is what atomic number Z and this is atomic mass, right? Therefore number of electrons to the first one, that is number of electrons is 8 and number of protons is also 8 because as a whole atom is electrically neutral, therefore number of neutrons, this is nothing but M is equal to A minus Z, that you know, 17 minus 8, okay, get how much? 9. That means 8 protons, 8 electrons and 9 neutrons are present in the first nuclei. This is the first one. Like this, second one, okay, magnesium 1225. So number of electrons from the atomic number 12, right? Number of protons, that is also 12. Therefore number of neutrons, that is N is equal to A minus Z, which is nothing but 25 minus 12, nothing but 30. Okay, electrons 8, electrons 12, protons 12, but the number of neutrons is 13. So like this type of problems already you know in your high school. That's why just once again we are also revising here, right? This is how, just you remember, whatever this base represents atomic number. Atomic number is number of electrons or number of protons present in an atom, already I told you. And this is atomic mass, right? Okay. So that's about calculating first two nuclei. Then coming to third nuclei. For the third nuclei, same. For the third nuclei, what it is? Bromine. Third one. Bromine 3580. Right? Number of electrons 35, protons 35, 80 minus 35. Okay, that means 80 minus 35, you will get 45. Okay, that is 45. So electrons 35, protons 35, but neutrons is 45. Like this you can calculate. That is what protons, electrons and neutrons. Protons, electrons and neutrons in the following nuclei. Right, so that's about some more questions which were left. Okay, that's what I discussed. So these are the problems generally you came across in structure of atom. The structure of what? Atom. So students, try to remember for theory, whatever I have given you, these problems, more than enough. Even I solved some problems related to CET and NEET and has stressed on those points with star mark, right? Okay. That means energy of photon is equal to h nu when wavelength is given, frequency is given. 2 marks. Then calculating de Broglie wavelength lambda and depending upon velocity, accuracy I told you. Even Heisenberg uncertainty principle, delta calculating delta x or delta p, right, or else delta v, and accuracy problems. Then especially very importantly, calculating wave number, wavelengths and wave frequency of spectral length using, that is what, hydrogen spectrum of atom, that is using Rydberg equation. Rydberg equation, that is mu bar is equal to 1 over lambda r into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square, where n1 is ground state energy level and n2 is excited state energy level, right? Okay. And this is lastly still more problems, so what we have covered. So this is the completion of numericals. So what I taught you up to this one. That means now the theory what I completed up to the Bohr's model of an atom, its merits and demerits, and even the Heisenberg uncertainty principle and even de Broglie wavelength, right? Okay. The next last part of the structure of atom is very importantly quantum mechanics. Until what you studied is a classical mechanics. Okay, now the quantum mechanics, approach towards quantum mechanical model of an atom. Let us see what is this quantum mechanics. Oh. Towards quantum mechanics. Okay. Right. Now, you have understood black body radiations, right? And also Planck's quantum theory, according to which electrons emit or absorb or propagate energy how discontinuously in the form of discrete bundles or small packets of energy called as quanta or photons. And energy associated with this quanta or photon is given by E is equal to h nu. And always a body emits or absorbs this energy in the form of integral multiples of quanta. Integral multiples of quanta. Right? Now, going towards quantum mechanics, this quantum mechanics especially ignores the wave nature of light. The wave nature of light. So, the branch of science which considers especially this wave, which consider actually not neglects, which consider this wave nature of light. Wave nature of light, because de Broglie wavelength, it has just only given dual nature, right? But this consider the wave nature of light. Then in this quantum mechanics, let us study how electrons are arranged in the nucleus. According to Bohr's model, we already studied. What are those? Electrons revolve around the nucleus in certain closed fixed circular paths called as orbits, and these orbits are also called what? Shells. Okay, that's what only once again here repetition. That's what a quantum mechanical approach. And actually this quantum mechanical approach was first equation for the wave in 1 dimension, 2 dimension and 3 dimension is given by the scientist Schrödinger. Schrödinger wave equation. Schrödinger wave equation. Okay, the Schrödinger wave equation, with the help of this we can calculate energy of electron. Okay, by using an equation that is H psi is equal to E psi. H psi is equal to E psi. What is H? H is called Hamiltonian operator. Hamiltonian operator. Okay, H is Hamiltonian operator and the psi is amplitude of wave function. amplitude of wave function. Means either upward displacement or downward displacement of the wave, where A is the energy. Okay, energy of electron or photon if it is light. So that's about, this is called very simple modified equation, Schrodinger wave equation. But in three-dimensional, in three coordinates, that is in the three-dimensional region. What actually psi represents? Amplitude of the wave function. Then how you define this actually? As you know that electrons, as they revolve around the nucleus, see here, like this. Electrons revolve around the nucleus in certain closed fixed circular paths. What you are observing these are called orbits. Orbits are also called shells or energy levels. Why? Because they are associated with a definite amount of energy. Right? That's what here, the energy associated with this electron is actually tried to given by Schrodinger wave equation, where in three-dimensional region. That's why we will complement into or divide them into x coordinate, y coordinate and z coordinate. That means by studying this Schrodinger wave equation, you come to know where within the wave packet electron is revolving around the nucleus in terms of purely electron cloud, or that only he has just resolved one dimension into three dimension by taking x, y, z. So the probability of finding electron maximum around the nuclei is called that is what, electron probability density, or it is also called atomic orbital. Okay, atomic orbital. What is atomic orbital? It is the three-dimensional region in the space where there is probability of finding electron is maximum around the nucleus is called orbital. Okay, that's why that is given by three coordinates. We can write it as dou square psi by dou x square plus dou square psi by dou y square plus dou square psi by dou, that is z square, right, into 8 pi square h square by m into E minus V into psi is equal to 0. Okay, see, dou square psi by dou s square plus dou square psi by dou y square plus dou square psi by dou z square into 8 pi square h square m by E minus V into psi is equal to 0. This is what this is called Schrodinger wave equation in three coordinates, in three-dimensional region. Basically, this same has been resolved into three types by taking three coordinates x, y, z in three-dimensional space. Okay, because two sides you can see, the third side you have to imagine. That's why x, y, z. Right. That's what. Here once again, please students, just remember this equation is important for NEET purpose, for especially NEET. Remember this, for NEET, CET and NEET, very important. Here once again, E represents energy of electron, V represents potential energy, and psi represents amplitude of wave function, and square of psi is nothing but psi square represents electron probability density. Electron probability density. That is, what is this electron probability density, students? The probability of finding electron maximum around the nucleus is called atomic orbital. It is a very high. It is of the order, see, almost 99.95%. Okay, or 95.99%. So that probability of finding electron around the nucleus 95.99, and approximately if it is 100%, that is called atomic orbital, Remember, very important for once again CET and NET. Right, like this, students, the branch of science which considers wave nature of light, that is called quantum mechanics. Okay, right. So, in order to get the idea about where within the wave packet electron revolves, what is the energy of electron? For that only has developed equation by the scientist Schrodinger. So, named after him, Schrodinger wave equation. In simple one dimension, it is h psi is equal to E psi. Okay, this is only you have to remember, and this is for further need purpose in 3 coordinate diagram. So, in physics also in quantum mechanics, you will study its derivation. Okay, right. Now, what is the significance of this Schrodinger wave equation here? See, now I will tell you. Psi represents what? Amplitude of wave function. Whereas psi square represents what? Electron probability density. That is only finding electron, density of electron around the nucleus maximum. Where? Around the nucleus. That gives rise to what? Atomic orbital. So now, just lastly, I will tell you with this diagram. First, what you will have? Orbit. Next, orbit is also called shell. Okay, then in orbit, then once again it converts into shell into subcell. Okay, cell into subcell. Okay, subcells are subdivided into orbitals. Remember, like this. Orbit is also called shell. Why? Because they are associated with a definite amount of energy. Please try to remember. Then subdivided into subcell, shell into subcell, and subcell when subjected to electric field and magnetic field, resultants are what? Orbitals. Right? Okay, now I will tell you with this diagram very clearly. Just see here. You know that atom has central nucleus surrounded by planetary electrons. Right? Now, imaginary path of an electron around the nucleus is called orbit. Orbit. What you are observing this. And these orbits are also called what? Shells. Why? Because they are associated with a definite amount of energy. Right. Now, these shells, see here, you have to imagine. You have to imagine. Just see, you have to imagine. We can't see. These shells are containing subcells. They are subdivided into subcells. Subcell means, see, shell means K, L, M and N. If N is 1, K shell, N is 2, L cell, N is 3, M, N is 4, N cell. Further these are subdivided into S, P, B and F. As we got from spectrum. Sharp series, principal series, diffuse series, fundamental series. Okay. Subcells. Then these subcells when subjected to electric field and magnetic field, they will give rise to orbital. Then we can call them as S orbital, P orbital, D orbital and F orbitals accordingly. See, this is actually general structure of atom. Okay, now you come to know first orbits are also called shells. Cells are subjected to subcells. Subcells are subjected to electric field and magnetic field. They will use to write what student? Lastly, orbitals. Okay, now what you are observing, all this circular shape is a orbit. In the orbit, what are present? Subcells. Subcells subdivided into once again orbitals, which are not seen with our eyes. Please remember, you have to imagine. Because completely atomic structure is based on imagination only. Right? Okay, this is what we today will stop here. In the next class, see, I will tell you very importantly, quantum numbers. By studying quantum numbers, students will come to know where within the wave packet, nucleus, where within the wave packet electron is revolving, or where its position. Okay. That's what 4 quantum numbers: principal quantum number, azimuthal quantum number, magnetic quantum number and spin quantum number. By studying these 4 main important quantum numbers, you come to know where within the wave packet electron is present. What is the energy? What is the orientation? Okay, like this, we study in the next hour very importantly significance of quantum numbers. Right? So today students, we have completed problems, okay, numericals, and just I have given you, taking you to the what? Approachment towards what? Quantum mechanical model. Okay, and I told you Schrodinger wave equation, significance of psi and psi square. Psi represents amplitude of wave function, whereas psi square represents electron probability density. Remember, that's only that gives rise to concept atomic orbital. Right, let's stop here. Thank you. Sharanu?